Didn't ask you that in advance, but
I did.
oh, awesome. So welcome everybody online. Good to have you, and everybody here in person. I want to share a reading from Romans before I turn the service over to Cody today. I'll be reading Romans chapter 10, verses 9 through 15. If you'd like to follow along in your own Bibles, in your own translation, I always encourage you to do that. And don't just sit and listen, even though that's okay. Go home and read it again, and meditate on the word, and ask the Holy Spirit to reveal his truth to you. Romans 10, 9 through 15. If you declare with your mouth Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For it is with your heart that you believe and are justified, and it is with your mouth that you profess your faith and are saved. As Scripture says, anyone who believes in him will never be put to shame. For there is no difference between Jew and Gentile. The same Lord is Lord of all, and richly blesses all who call on him. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. How then can they call on the one they have not believed in? And how can they believe in the one of whom they have not heard? And how can they hear without someone preaching to them? And how can anyone preach unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news. And this is the word of the Lord. Amen. I have a guest here today, a new friend that was introduced to me, and he is bringing the good news. And I am inviting Cody up. I'm going to let you introduce yourself and share whatever you wish with the congregation. So Cody, come on up. I'm going to be running this for you, so do you want to tell me when you need another screen changer?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Thank you so much.
Ma'am. He's the only one that calls me ma'am in my life.
How's it going, everybody? Good. So my name is Cody Bowe Sr. I was born and raised in Osceola Mills and graduated from Phillipsburg. Right after graduated, joined a ministry called Young Life, and that's the ministry I actually am working for now. I started in August, and first of all, I just really want to thank you guys for letting me come here and talk. I really love Young Life for a lot of different reasons. I'm going to share some of them today, but one reason is whenever I was a senior in high school, I was in Young Life, and I was a Young Life kid for 2 months, and it just changed my life for a lot of different reasons, and some of those I want to talk about today. But so first I want to talk about what Young Life is, and then I want to talk about how it's actually impacting Clearfield County, and then I want to talk about how we can partner together in just impacting the community. Okay? So first of all, I want to talk about Young Life, and Young Life was started in 1941. It is across the country, and it's actually international. I think it's in 117 countries in total. And it was started by a man named Jim Rayburn. So he is a pastor that was hired by a church to be a youth pastor. And the church was looking at their youth group, and they had maybe 5 kids in their youth group. And they were very close to a high school. And they noticed every Sunday a group of kids playing basketball across the street at this high school, but their youth group had this handful of kids. And they did not know why. The kids just weren't interested in coming into the church and being a part of their program. So they hired Jim Rayburn, and they were literally like, Jim, it's your job to go out and get these kids to start being interested in Jesus, being interested in the church again. So Jim made a strategy to do that we call in Young Life the 5 C's. And that is contact work, club, campaigners, camp, and committee. Now what those are is contact work is my favorite part of the ministry, and it all starts with an adult willing to step into the life of a kid where they're at in their environment to build an authentic relationship with them. So then through that relationship they can spread the gospel, right? Good news is only good news if it's from someone you actually care about, right? So that is what contact work is. And for me, whenever I was in high school, that's whenever I was in track. Turns out 2 of my track coaches were Young Life leaders, and they stayed after practice with me for 2 hours talking to me in the parking lot about random stuff. I remember we talked for about an hour about wolves because I loved wolves, and they couldn't care less, but they just were interested and cared about me. So they were willing to step into my world, meet me where I'm at, to be able to have a relationship with me. And turns out, like, one of the guys that was in that parking lot, I was a groomsman in his wedding, like 4 years later. And me and him are best friends now. We're doing this ministry together. So these are lifelong relationships that can happen with these kids that we can eventually partner together.
Sorry, we're getting...
No, you're totally okay. And that is contact work. It's adults willing to step into the life of kids where they're at. Coming into club, right? That is a party with a purpose. It's absolute chaos. It is allowing kids, whether they know about Jesus or not, it allows any kid to be invited into something, to be a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. They don't feel stressed. It is our job as leaders to have a crazy, chaotic, safe and controlled, but controlled chaos environment. It's very hard to describe. It's insane. There's music, there's skits, there's games, there's like, how can we take a 15-year-old kid, take him out or her out of the pressures from the school, pressures from the parents, pressures from just life in general, of what are you going to do for the rest of your life, and just be that kid. Bring them into an adventure, bring them into fun. And then for the last 10-ish, 15-ish minutes, a leader stands up and just introduces them to who Jesus is. Right? It is a very soft way to just take a kid that maybe has never even heard the name Jesus, take them from, I have this relationship with a leader, now I just got invited to this thing called club, I just had an absolute blast and I was laughing with like 20, 30 other kids, and now that leader that I have a relationship with is telling me about this guy named Jesus. And now it's opening up a door for a conversation. Right? And that is what club is. It's an opportunity to invite any kid, wherever he or she is, in their faith or in their walk, to something they can feel seen, known, and loved in. Right? And then we have campaigners. Campaigners, what that is like, okay, so this kid just came to club, they just learned about Jesus, and now they're starting to ask more questions. They're starting to be more curious about who Jesus is. Now this is the next level of invitation we can invite a kid into, to now, okay, we're going to back off of the games and be more intentional with opening up the Word, and be more intentional with allowing kids to have a conversation about who Jesus is, what he means in their life, and why he's important to them. So this is, now we're not only introducing them and really answering questions, but we're also discipling in this time to how can we take this relationship that you now have with Jesus, if they accept a relationship, and now we can teach you how to be campaigners for Christ. Go back into the school with us as leaders, be side by side, and learn how to disciple your friends. Learn how to talk about Jesus with your friends, and invite your friends into a relationship with Christ. Right? Campaigners is full circle. How can we start taking your faith and applying it to life? Right? Whenever I was in campaigners in high school, that was the thing that really changed everything for me. I grew up in church. I grew up in a family that God was present in, but not really like completely lived out. So whenever I went to high school, my brother and I were very isolated. We were very like friends with everybody, but not close with anybody, because no one shared the faith with us. Like me personally, I thought there was never a kid my age that actually cared about Christ. Got invited to Young Life, got invited to campaigners, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's college kids that care enough about me, that care enough about Christ, that they're willing to talk to me about it. And then there's like 20 other high school kids that actually are interested. It changed everything for me, that there's actually a community that cares about Christ. And that's what this is. And then my leaders taught me, and I remember the leader that I was a groomsman for, his name was Parker. He's the guy that taught me and walked back into the high school with me to teach me how to talk about Jesus with my friends. So that's what campaigners is. And then we have camp. And camp is absolutely amazing. I went to this place called Wild Ridge. It's in West Virginia. It's an adventure camp. It's a little crazy. There's no running water, no electricity. We go whitewater rafting. It's awesome. But the average Young Life camp is a resort camp. It's millions and millions of dollars to get a camp to absolute excellence and as perfect as we can get it. So as soon as a kid walks off a bus, they are introduced to a level of just beauty and intentionality that they're instantly getting hit with the gospel just by looking at as the perfection of the camp, of how beautiful it is, of how much adults are intentionally, like, the flowers are so perfect, there's no weeds, everything's clean, everything's good for them so they can have the best week of their life. And this week of camp is club 24/7. It is insane. From the time they get off the bus, they are on the go, go. And at the same time, they come into a room with 300 other kids, and there's a speaker up front that is painting the picture of the greatest love story that's ever happened in the world. Taking a kid, again, from day one that maybe never heard the word Jesus, to at the end of 5 days, getting presented with the question of the cross, that they know why they need God. They know that they have sinned. They know that they're broken. They know that He has died for them. They know the whole story. They know exactly why He's important. And now there's space for the leaders that have been building relationships with them from day one, that are now there at camp with them, to be able to have conversations and talk through this. There's so much space at camp for kids and leaders to just be having conversations, to be reviewing, hey, what are you hearing in these talks? And I remember whenever I was at camp, that's what changed everything for me, is I was able to sit down with Parker and was just like, dude, this is changing how I see Jesus entirely. This is changing everything for me. And I recommitted my life to Christ at camp. And it was amazing, right? So we were able to come home, and there's always the camp high, right? You go to camp, and now you're up here, and you're super hyped. You're like, Jesus. And then all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, and the high comes down, and now you're like, what should I do now? Because I was just on this high. Well, what was beautiful about this is, as a leader, I get to come home with these kids, and I literally am like, guys, you have a camp high right now. Like, this is what's happening. We're going to utilize this energy of, now we're going to learn what it looks like to have a quiet time with Jesus. How can we start building a relationship? How can we start reading our words together and really just utilizing the energy that we have from camp to solidify some good habits, some good daily habits, to start building your relationship personally with the Lord. Now this camp high goes away, and it's not as hard of a drop-off because they are being filled and they are continually having life poured into them because they're in the Word, they're praying, they're pursuing Christ. And we get, as leaders, to walk through that with them. And then there's committee. Committee is an amazing part of the ministry that does not get enough praise because they are adult volunteers that are willing to be the backbone of the ministry. These are adults in the community itself that are willing to come together and volunteer their time, their efforts, to be moral support, to be administrative processes, to organize things, to help financially with things, and basically just be the support that the staff person and the volunteers need so that they can focus on the kids and the committee can focus on the logistics. Is basically how that works. And me as a staff person, I'm in both worlds. So I'm with the kids, I'm with the leaders, I'm training the leaders to help them know how to pursue these kids well. And I'm also with the committee of learning, like, how can we logistically support everything else that's happening, right? And that's Young Life. Those are the 5 C's. And that is Jim Rayburn's strategy to go out and reach kids, tell adolescents about Jesus Christ, and help them grow in their faith, right? Now, how is that impacting Clearfield County? So Clearfield County is a brand new area, and it includes Phillipsburg, Osceola Mills, which we've been in there for 10-ish years, I think. I've been a volunteer for the past 4, and like I said, just got on staff in August. So I've been in there for a while, and we are looking to go into Mo Valley, Clearfield, West Branch, Du Bois, and Harmony High Schools, and Kernsville. Yeah. So there's 7 high schools in total, including PO. 6 of them we're not in. But the vision is we want to get in there. This area is maybe 4 months new. I think it started in July. We got our official area code. So it is brand new, which is such a blessing because we now get to, as a community and as a team, build this to how we feel God is calling us to build it. And we can work with the other programs that are happening already in the schools, or if they're non-existent, we can now step in there and be the light that we're called to be as Christians. Amen. So how's that working in Phillipsburg though? How's that impacting Phillipsburg? So right here, here's some pictures of what it looks like for a club. So this is actually at my house. So this is some kids. We literally had a kid on a skateboard and we had teams. And they had to like slide the kid. I'm going out of the camera, I'm sorry. But we had to slide the kid into the bowling pins. And they have to knock down as many as they can. And that's the game, that's the game. So we have 3 teams of about 8 kids.
We need to do that here.
It's so much fun. And it was really fun because we're on a dead end road, so there's not like a lot of traffic, but randomly a car would come and we would just have like a blitzkrieg of like, go to the side of the road, get out of here. And we just made it way more dramatic because they were going 10 miles an hour.
That's fun.
But in the same thing, this is a club, so there's like a voluntold section, so the leaders before the event starts, we're like, hey, we're gonna pick these kids out to do this game. So we picked these guys. These guys are a lot of fun. This is Robert, and then there's Sean, and then Colin, who's here. And what we did was we tied a rope to their big toe and put the rope over a stick and tied a donut to the other end. And they had to lift their leg up to try and eat the donut. And whoever ate the donut the fastest won the game. So they were doing like the craziest core exercise trying to get this donut. And that's the game. That's me holding the stick. I loved messing with these kids. So if you want to switch to the next one. So that's just an example of club. And then this is contact work. So every Thursday morning we do pancakes at Phillipsburg OCO Mills. So we're known as the pancake people. And that's great for us because as long as kids can see our face and recognize us as something, it helps when we go to a sporting event. And we're like, hey, what's your name? And they're like, oh, you're the pancake guy. And I'm like, yeah, I am, 100%. So we're playing music, we make them pancakes, and the whole school, buses come up, juniors and seniors from the parking lot come down, and we get to just say hi and give them pancakes every Thursday morning. And then this is also a club. That's my co-leader, Drew. He's a volunteer, he goes to Penn State. And this is all the kids just around the fire pit. And they're just sitting there and he's giving them a club talk. He's introducing Jesus to them and who he is. Right? It's an amazing time. Thank you so much. Oh, and then this is camp. So this is literally just this past summer. These are the kids we brought to camp. There's Jordan, and then Joe, Nasir, Evan, and then Marlena. And then Katie is on the end. She's one of my co-leaders, also from Penn State. But we went to Upper New York. It's a resort camp in Saranac. And some of these kids, it's the first time they ever left PA. So this is like crazy adventure for them. And we're in Saranac, New York. So these are the Adirondack Mountains behind us. And our camp is built on the edge of this lake. And it was just a beautiful time. So that's just by the lake. This is like our fancy night. So everyone dresses up as much as they want to or can. And then there's like hors d'oeuvres, there's just a bunch of volunteers and like college kids just like all dressed up with like random like hot dogs on a stick or something. And then this is Evan. He's an amazing kid. He actually gave his life to Christ at camp just this past summer. And so far this school year, we've been just working together, just how can we go back and tell your friends about Jesus? And that's the process we're in. And I'm in with Evan. And yeah. And then this is our 80s night. So we're all dressed up. We're about to have like a neon night. So basically like we're gonna smash all these kids into this tight room and have 300 kids just like bumping to neon music and neon lights. It's just awesome. Yeah, can you go to the next one? Thank you so much. And then this is just the camp. Like this is the beauty and the intentionality that they have. So they put the camp right on the edge so you can have these amazing outlooks. And then they have boats so you could go parasailing, you can go wakeboarding, you can go tubing. Like just giving these kids an opportunity to have just awesome adventure and be teenagers so they could just have fun, and it's just amazing the intentionality of just bringing kids back to being kids. And then this is Jordan. I just saw him sitting on the beach in this picture, so I just sat beside him. We were talking, and one of my co-leaders came over and was like, "Hey, do you want a picture?" I was like, "Sure." But that was just a really cool time, because the camps are also super intentional with like setting up 2 chairs in private locations, so then opportunities like this can happen where Jordan was just chilling, and we just had free time. He was just relaxing by the lake, and I was able to go and sit beside him and just have really cool intentional conversations with him, not knowing that there was no opportunity for anyone to just sit beside us and ruin that. And it was just like, that's the intentionality of these camps, is like chairs in 2, or like a bench that only 2 people can sit on, looking at something beautiful, giving a leader and a kid the opportunity to sit down and have intentional conversations. Thank you. And then that's Evan. That's the day after he gave his life to Christ. That's the morning, and we were like doing his first quiet time by the lake. So that's like, praise God, he was able to have his first intentional time with God on a lake looking over the Adirondack Mountains. That's amazing.
He has a Bible. Did you give him a Bible?
Yes, I did give him that Bible. Yeah, I like to have an extra one. But
that's awesome.
And then that's like the whole group. So Phillipsburg OCO used to be a part of Center County Young Life, and Center County Young Life is very developed. They are very move forward. They have 5 high schools in their Young Life. They have 2 middle schools. They have college. They have Capernaum, which is Capernaum Ministry is a ministry for people with special needs. So Young Life is a really cool umbrella ministry that also has many other ministries underneath it. So for middle school kids, kids with special needs, teen moms that have kids as teenagers that don't really know what they're doing, that maybe they're single, we have a ministry specifically for them. We have ministries for military kids as well, but that doesn't really apply too much to this area. But
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's all right. But yeah, so that was a big group of Center County people with PO, and it's really cool because we get to partner with Center County. So we have the beginnings of a brand new area, but we have the resources of a big area because we're so close. We can partner with them. So instead of 10 kids from PO going on a trip like that, the 10 kids from PO can go with Center County and have now be a part of a group of 60 kids. And it's just a lot. It's just really cool for them. I don't think there was...
Nope, that was it. Sorry, I wanted to quiet that, so...
No, you're awesome. Thank you so much. And that's how it's been impacting Phillipsburg. And that's our vision of impacting every school we can get into. We want these kids to have an opportunity to be seen, known, and loved, to have a place where they are accepted whether they know Christ or not. But they also have an opportunity to know Christ and have leaders and adults that want to have that conversation, that relationship with kids, right? So right now our goal is to build the ministry in Phillipsburg right now. We want to stabilize that so Young Life is a part of the culture, and ultimately the gospel is a part of the culture. Young Life is a tool. It's an awesome ministry, but it's just a tool for the gospel, right? The 5 C's, that strategy, Jim Rayburn literally just looked at how Jesus did ministry and just applied that to modern day. So it's Jesus' strategy. It is all about him. Young Life is a tool to do that. So right now the goal is to stabilize in a PO so we can move to a different high school and then do the same thing. Find leaders, find adults that are willing to step into kids' lives and just start going after more kids. Right? So how can we partner together to accomplish this in other places, or just continue to do it right where we're at right now? One, we need prayer. We need so much prayer. As I was saying, there's 6 other high schools, and there's 1 high school we're in that we're just praying for growth. We're praying for God to stabilize it, and we're also praying because we have no idea how we're going to get into the other 6. And there's so much that needs to happen. There's adults that need to just come out and just prayerfully consider to also donate their time, right? And that's the second thing. So one, we need prayer to just blanket over this whole thing and blanket over the current leaders, current committee, and just the people and the kids in Phillipsburg and in other communities. But also we need adults to be willing and prayerfully consider what it would look like for them to be leaders. There is no college in Clearfield County, so Penn State will always be supplying leaders to Phillipsburg because it's only 35 minutes away. But every other high school that's listed has to be adult leaders like me and you. So it needs to be adult leaders willing to step into the kids' lives, which has a lot of benefits. You know, adult leaders, like a leader that's 40 years old, is going to be a lot less embarrassed to talk to a 15-year-old kid than a 20-year-old kid, right? So there's a lot of pros to that. So we also need people to prayerfully consider what it looks like to join the committee. We need people like to step into a new community. We also need representatives of the community in the committee. We need people that are in the room having the conversation of how is Clearfield different from PO? How is West Branch different from PO? How can we be tailoring everything that we're doing to the community so we can understand the culture, so we can understand the kids, so we can understand the community, right? That is incredibly important. And then lastly, I would love for you guys to also prayerfully consider what it would look like to possibly join our team of donors, right? Our budget is $70,000, and Diamondback is an amazing company in Phillipsburg. Yeah, Tyler, animal.
Yeah.
It's an amazing company in Phillipsburg.
He's humble.
And they decided to partner with us because they've been partnering with us in other ways for the past 4 years that I've been leading. But they also decided to financially partner with us and give us $50,000 this year. And they also partnered with us for the next 5 years they're going to give us 40 next year, then 30, then 20, then 10. So they're going to slowly wean off, so we need to supplement, or it's my job to help supplement that fund. But that is the whole reason I'm even able to do this job right now, is because Diamondback fronted that money. I committed to raising $25,000, so that will get us to the $70,000 a year for our total budget. Right now, I have raised about $20,000. God's amazing. I've been fundraising since July. So in like 2 or 3 months,
Amen.
we have pledged $20,000 a year. Yeah, praise God. Like, totally. So we're $5,000 away from meeting our yearly goal. And then next year will be just the continuation of what would it look like to continue to fund this area and just see God's blessing in that. So again, I would love for you guys to prayerfully consider joining our prayer team. What that would look like is, please see me. I would love to get your email because I'm working on doing a monthly newsletter where you guys can see up to date, like what is happening in the ministry, what is new, what are the prayer concerns, and you guys can be a part of that. 2, prayerfully consider donating your time. Are you convicted to be a leader at your local high school? Are you convicted to possibly join a committee to see, like, okay, if we're ready to move into Mo Valley or West Branch or Clearfield, what would it look like for you to know people, or maybe you live in one of those communities and you can step on the committee and be a representative of, like, this is the culture. And lastly, prayerfully consider being part of our team of donors, and just what would that look like. So I also have these awesome flyers. If you want to see me afterwards, this is a flyer that just reiterates everything that I just said today. It has the 5 C's, it has information about me, and it also has information to donate or to be a part of the mission with me and with us. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, Cody. I will. Thank you so much. Cody, if you'd be willing to stick around, maybe somebody has questions, give them your email. Do you have my email? I mean, if not, then text me. But you can go ahead and shut that off. Just a quick question. The 70,000, is that like a calendar year, January to December? Do you have a fiscal year?
Yeah, fiscal year is October to October.
October to October.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
wondered about that. So, okay. All right, very good. I have other questions too, but so for our time, we're going to go into our time of communion. But Cody, I just want to thank you for just being who you are and being awesome and doing what you're doing, I think is just amazing. So that's why I wanted to share his story with all of you today. You can count on our prayer. In fact, Cody and I met and had, well, breakfast at the cottage on a Wednesday. And the immediate thing that I could do was pray. And I came back to Bible study that night, for those of you who know, and say, we're praying for this tonight. So we started the same day. You can count on us for prayer, and we will discuss the rest. How's that sound?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, let's change gears, and we will, I have so much to